All right, play us in.
Play.
Okay.
27.
20. We're at episode 27.
Right now.
Welcome back.
27 weeks straight, bro.
Sponsored by 27. We're gonna start with our sponsor here today, Mano Wellness.
New sponsor.
New sponsor. Old sponsor.
Never-ending sponsor.
Tell us a little bit about them, Anthony.
Them, great people. Great culture, great brand. Something that you're going to want to be a part of. A lot of fun, community. And then we also have, obviously, great services as well. Online coaching, corporate wellness, mobile fitness, getting people
Jacked. Yoked. Pillsbury Doughboy.
Huh?
I don't know.
We invite all.
Yeah, exactly.
We invite all.
You know what I at our company, they put together like advertising, right?
Mm-hmm.
And pharmaceutical. When you do the brand in the beginning, I think it performs worse.
Then why'd you do it?
TBD.
But what if you are the brand?
That's true.
Got him.
Let's get into it.
We gave him a very broad cliffhanger.
And let's just be honest. You put me on the spot last episode and said, give him a cliffhanger. I had no idea what we were talking about.
You didn't read the show notes?
No, I read... Listen, when you go ham in an episode and then you're like, think about the next one on the spot right now, you can't expect a kid to remember.
But I gave you the show notes, printed out and everything.
That's such a lie.
You don't got show notes.
No.
But
All right.
Give it to him.
So, I want to talk about a delicious dinner I just had.
I'm so stuffed. It was so good.
We had shrimp and chicken tacos, but that's just the start of it. There was guac, there was salsa, there was, dude, that corn. All right.
Street corn.
But the main thing I wanted to ask you about got brought down midway through the dinner. There were these chips to use with the guac. These chips were special.
Special.
But I didn't even know these chips existed, first of all. And you were like, I looked to you, obviously, and I'm like, am I good to eat these or what? And you're like, you can have as much you want.
I had him in front of you to show you.
I've never seen him eat chips before. He's eating these chips.
Grubbed. We finished the bag.
He goes, there's like 3 or 4 ingredients in this whole thing. It was like corn. What was it?
So
corn?
The ones we had, there was the lime flavor, so there was 4. Corn, organic corn, beef tallow, salt, and lime.
Lime.
But the regular one is just 3.
So
lime.
He goes, I haven't eaten chips in so long because I just stay away from them. They're bad for you. He goes, no, you're good to have these. And then it got me thinking, how many more things are out there that I avoid that I can actually have? I just need to find the right brand.
So many.
I want you to do a little bit of a deeper dive because these chips, when I say they're the guac, first off, but these chips by themselves were special. I haven't had chips in so long, like I said. I need a little bit more in-depth on some brands, if you can think of, and some alternatives to these things.
So those were the tortilla chips.
Those were good. Muy bien.
You also had the potato chips I let you try.
Yes, those were also fire.
Those were 3 ingredients. Potatoes.
They didn't have tallow.
Avocado oil. And salt. So
they were good.
This goes into healthy food replacements, is what it is.
Yeah.
And 2 things with this. Number 1 is get calories out of your head when we're talking about these, because if you're looking, what we're looking at when we're looking at this label, we're looking at the ingredients. We're not looking at the calories. You want to match calories, the calories are going to be the same. But the difference between changing the quality of the ingredients is insane for your health in a positive way. Have you read the back of like a normal tortilla chip, like the Tostitos?
No, I can't tell you the last time. I wasn't joking when I said I don't eat chips anymore. There's like a couple.
Paragraph.
There's a couple things I avoid now, since we've got to talking about it. I don't like. My favorite thing was to eat chips and salsa at a. I love Mexican. At a Mexican restaurant, just down chips and salsa.
So good.
Nachos, pizza was a big one for me. There's like these go-to foods that I love that I just will avoid.
Yeah.
Haven't had ice cream in a while, but I know that there's alternatives out there.
All right.
I just haven't got to explore them.
I want you to save all of those examples. We're gonna do a rapid fire after this.
Oof.
I want you to save those examples where you're gonna bring up something that you love. I'll give you a healthy replacement.
Oh, let's go.
All right, but before we do, I gotta lay the foundation.
Okay, fine.
I want to lay the foundation of food quality in general, which is why I mentioned the calories thing, because we're not just talking about calories here.
Always the first thing I used to look at.
Right, because if you look at it, for example, the chips we were talking about is for one serving, which is about 9 chips, same as a Tostitos, they match. But again, the difference...
Yeah, it was $150 for 9 chips, which is a lot for 9 chips.
Right. So those are matched between the two. But, dude, I cannot emphasize enough how important the changing around the ingredients are for our health.
And if I can say, I love Doritos, haven't had them in a long time, you're not sacrificing flavor.
With those things?
Those things are great.
Have you ever had the hint of lime Tostitos?
No.
So, dude.
Cool Ranch and the regular, I think.
You know what the hint of lime Tostitos taste like?
No.
Those.
Yeah.
Literally. So, all right. So let's jump into the foundation so that we can get through that, because I know people want the replacements. And I'm excited for that rapid fire. But so the way I want people to think about when we're talking about like quality of food, man, there's a lot of levels to this.
Right.
I mean, you can simply look at a nutrition label, and social media is a perfect example of how many things that they say is good, is bad. I don't like to categorize things as good or bad. It's more of like, all right, where are you at and what you can handle in a way. Where for me, I'm very extreme, right? I am rarely eating any processed ingredients.
Yeah,
it's all real ingredients, whole food.
I was surprised you had some of that corn today. Honestly.
Yeah, so
once you asked what was in it and he said it, like a little bit of this, I thought you would be out.
Sour cream is fine.
Yeah, I thought you were out on the little
If you look
bit of
at
mayo
ingredients
when
and
he said
sour, the mayo, I was.
know. Did you cringe a little bit when he said that after you were already eating it?
Not cringe. I knew it was gonna happen, and it's happening.
Yeah.
My stomach's a little gassy. So, but going back to that, I want people to more think about the levels to this, where if you're going from, you don't really look at the ingredients, you look at more of the calories. Don't get too don't go 0 to 100. We talk about that all the time.
Yep.
I would just focus on, first off, the big picture is making that one little change. We were talking about last episode, that 1% change. But you can get very, very caught up in that social media image of all these ingredients. So it's hard. It's hard to talk about food quality because there's so many levels to it, dude. So what we're going to be talking about today is, I guess we can use me as an example of like what I would have, but I want to emphasize this, that even if I bring up a healthy replacement, that doesn't mean like there isn't like a middle point.
Fine.
Right? So we talk about the Tostitos and we talk about these other chips. There is a central ground where no, you don't have to go for the one that's just 3 ingredients. You can go with one that, okay, maybe they don't use a seed oil, but they still have maybe artificial flavors, right? So that's the levels I want to bring up. But as long as like you're making that little level change, dude, so important. Last caveat that I want to make too is you are paying for it. It's gonna be an investment.
Such a shame.
They're expensive. All these healthy replacements are going to be expensive. I obviously think it is one of the best investments you can make. This is a good little example. People that buy a nice car, they're willing to buy the premium gas. but why aren't you willing to buy the premium fuel for your body? I think
That was kind of a mic drop.
spending the money for these healthy food replacements is more valuable than investing in the stock market.
You're investing in yourself.
Oh, all right. I'll do another mic drop. This is a quote from Hormozy. I've mentioned him in the past 10 pods, but it's a great one. He talks about instead of investing in the S&P 500,
SME 500.
SME 500.
I think you. Nah, maybe I just listened to that podcast. Unless you.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, either I just listened to that or you said that last episode.
Did I?
I don't. Or 2 episodes ago.
If I did, I'm sorry. It wasn't last episode. It was the 2 episodes
that's
ago.
what I meant by.
But dude, it's so true, man. Like, I really wish people would understand the return on investment that they would get from putting it into their health. It's unbelievable. So I have to say that because the number one pushback that I'm going to get with all these
Is it expensive?
is the money. Carson, you know me. Technically my income's zero. But I am still able to invest in it because I know how important it is. But also I had to make a lot of changes outside of it within my lifestyle so that I could make it, right?
Yeah.
Not spending money on certain things that have no return.
Yeah, you're pretty strict with your cash. Just as a guy who's known you for a while, this is one thing you will not sacrifice.
When it comes to any health purchase,
you will not sacrifice it.
I have no.
Yeah.
I have no. I can't put a max number to it.
Yeah, it's like me with Lululemon. The limit does not exist.
I thought you were gonna say the lemon doesn't exist.
No. The limit. Well, it was kind of a tongue twister there for a minute.
Yeah.
Lululemon. The limit does not exist.
Great clothes, dude. I'll tell you what though, you buy one of those.
They last a while.
I have Lululemon clothes that I've literally. My grandma, she would get me one piece of Lululemon clothing for every single Christmas. For
Still have
years.
'em.
I still have the very first pair.
Good.
It's the ABC joggers.
Oh, they're so
Dude,
nice.
in mint condition.
I know.
I've taken care of them, but you need one pair, and oh my gosh,
I think I might graduate to Aloe soon, but whew,
that's a goodie too. Don't
Wait.
graduate, just do both.
way too much money.
Do both. So really want people to think about that. What it is. Man, I don't want to be a broken record, but I can't emphasize it enough. It's the best return on investment you can get.
What are the easy? So we're gonna go into the ones that
You want to just do the rapid fire?
No,
Okay.
kind of. I want to do the rapid fire, but I want you to hit me with like the easiest substitutes that most people like. That's so obviously staring people in the face.
Mm-hmm.
That are like go-to snacks or go-to things that like. It's not even that like easy. Just mix it over to this. Like it might be something that they're cooking with. We talked about the oils. We don't have to get into the oils. Go back and listen to that pod. If you want to say real quick the oils, I'm talking about simple substitutes like that where it's just like you're already using it, just use this instead.
I would say first, get in the habit of when you look at a food item and the nutrition label,
The ingredients.
get in the habit of looking at the ingredients first rather than the calories.
Just started doing that. Not just. It's been like a year now, and that's all I look at. I don't even look at the calories anymore.
So this is what, when I turned the corner with my nutrition, it was this. Because it went from me, when I first got started with nutrition, it was nutrition tracking. I was counting my macros, logging all my food. That's obviously all calorie based.
Right.
Right? It's that whole idea of hit your macros. If you just hit your macros, you're going to manage your weight in whatever way that you're trying to manage it. That works, right? It works for getting to that goal. What it didn't work for me was that, like, lifelong habit and lifestyle.
Are you getting
it wasn't a
healthier?
lifestyle.
Right.
Because what would happen on the days that I didn't track, it was a free-for-all, dude. I was like a empty pit on everything and anything. You name it, I was eating it. We were just talking about it earlier.
The
actually.
Domino's?
The Domino's, dude. Sophomore year, me and my boy Landon, shout out. We had a tradition every Friday, Saturday, whatever it was, after the night out, we'd order 2 medium pizzas. House them.
You ever seen King of Queens? Never mind.
You know me, I don't watch anything.
I know, but it's like an older one. Like, I don't know. He says the older guy in the show, Arthur. If any of the listeners know King of Queens, just look up the clip. It's really funny. He's like, let's order from this nice local Italian joint. He's like, all right, which one? He's like, Domino's. He never heard of what Domino's was. I'll send you the clip. So funny.
That's gonna be a good one.
So funny.
So when I was just focused on calories, dude, the days I wasn't tracking, I was so excited because I went off. What turned the corner is when I started less focusing on macro counting, and I just was looking at the food quality. Couple reasons for this. One, when you are looking, when you're just focused on the ingredients and only eating foods that are high quality, they're less calorie dense. The problem with processed and ultra processed foods they are very high in calories. But not only are they high in calories, they're very low in nutrients. So they're calorie dense, but nutrient deficient. When I say nutrients, I mean vitamins and minerals, like all the things that are going to run the engine of our body.
Right.
When you focus on ingredients, naturally the calories are going to come down and the nutrients go up. Now, obviously, it depends on what we're talking about, right? If we're talking about a more of a fatty food, calories are still going to be up because fats have more calories. But that's the key difference. Then also, the biggest thing about focusing on ingredients is you're giving your body things that it knows what to do with. These chemicals and these processed foods, our body has not seen this before. When you give it the real food, it knows what to do with it. It's going to break it down. It's going to make you feel satisfied. It's going to make you feel full. It's going to give you the energy and do what it's supposed to do. So that was a big turn in my nutrition where now, dude, when I go to Wawa or something, like any grocery store or gas station, it's, can I have this food or not? It's not I don't feel an urge or restricted. I pick up a protein bar, look at the ingredient label, like, oh, I can't have that. It has this in it.
There might be take the drink section out of it. There might be 5 things that you can actually get from Wawa.
Less. I was literally there the other day. On the way here.
You can't order anything on the screen. I was thinking beef jerky's one. You could probably get a protein bar from there.
There's one beef jerky that if I remember correctly, is good. It's the Archer brand.
You can probably get a protein bar. One. You can find a clean one. No?
Mm-mm.
You don't.
There's RX
do
bars,
the
but they're not. Dude.
Oh.
Dude.
Never mind.
Look,
you won't do the RX?
This is such a good example.
You won't do the RX?
RX are good, but I don't consider them. They're a date bar. They have like 10 grams of protein. But yeah, I will do those.
You would do a fruit cup. It's not the best fruit. Wouldn't.
Fruit cup? I'll if I don't have it, if I like really need some, I will.
Yeah, and that might be it. Is there anything else you can think of?
Look at the ingredients of the Bear Bells.
I don't want to. I don't eat them anymore.
You don't want to eat them. They're yeah.
They're another brand who they don't claim to be like a better bar, but their branding makes it seem like they're a better bar. Great marketing.
Here's the levels of nutrition. Right? Obviously, there's different categories, but we're talking about a protein bar. Much, much better than a candy bar. Obviously, much better than a candy bar. You're getting protein in. No, the ingredients are great, but it's better. But then there's the next step in getting a better protein bar.
Right, cleaner.
And then the next one, and the next one. But yeah, there's...
I might have one of them tonight.
So
you got
good.
First Worms laying around?
Oh, do I have them? So... That's yeah, dude, they're very rare. But I think if people can get in the habit of looking at these ingredients, one of my favorite sayings is, if you can't read it, you probably shouldn't eat it.
Wow, that kind of rhymes.
Right?
That's,
And
that's one of your favorites?
usually the quote is usually, if you can't read it, don't eat it. I had the probably in
Yeah.
because like there's some ingredients that like if you read, you couldn't, sorry, you wouldn't be able to read it, but it's fine.
Gotcha.
For example, like some protein bars or something, they'll put the amino acids, which is like the building blocks of a protein.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
put those in. Not many people know what they are, but they're perfectly fine. So if you can't read it, you probably shouldn't eat it. If it's not something that's from the earth, take that with a grain of salt too. You're a tired boy.
Bro, it's so late.
It is
I
late.
can't
This is the
stop.
latest pod we
like
recorded.
someone told me at a never mind. Doesn't matter.
So that was my main point that I wanted to make, is that that turned the corner for me, man. Like, most common question I get is about cheat meals. What do I do about cheat meals? Yes, I'm also so far into it, but at this point, like,
You don't really have cheat meals.
my cheat meal is just
Your
more
cheat
of what I
meals is
already
eating
have.
more, yeah.
Dude, I'll pound 10 yogurt bowls in a
Yeah.
day, and I enjoy every single one of them. But dude, it has saved me so much because I can eat as much as I want. I'll put in air quotes, restricted, but I don't feel restricted.
Right.
Restricted by the quality of the ingredients.
Rapid fire?
Hit me.
I guess we won't go
Start
back.
with the chips. We've been
I was
leaving
gonna
them
say,
out
do you
there.
want to go back into chips?
So the tortilla chips that Carson was talking about, they're called Masa chips, MASA. By the way, there's so many different kind of these brands coming out now, which is awesome. I can mention when we mention a food item, I'll mention some other brands as well. But there are so many out there. You just gotta get really good at reading the ingredient label. So these are called Masa chips. Another tortilla brand that's good is Siete. These chips, literally, we mentioned it, corn. It's a tortilla chip, so
So
the
good.
tortillas are corn based. Corn, beef tallow, and then salt. So the beef tallow is the key here. That's the alternative to
cook 'em
seed
in?
oil. Yep.
Yeah.
Usually the other ones are cooked in like safflower oil, sunflower oil. Those. So those are the chips. The potato chips that we were talking about, I forget what this brand was called. Shoot. But you like a lot of these healthy alternative brands are now using the marketing because there seems to be a shift in the culture.
I agree.
Right, which is awesome. I'm very excited about it. Where people are looking for these alternatives. So you'll see if you go down the chip aisle, especially like
They're out there.
the healthier organic aisle, you'll see it'll say like made with avocado oil. So go down the aisle, you'll see a
They're
potato
using
chip.
it for branding.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the potato chips.
Ice cream?
Ice cream. So going back to the levels, there are actual alternative ice creams that you can get. They're gonna have artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, some ingredients that I wouldn't love, but they're great alternatives. I believe the one brand's called Yasso.
I saw that.
Yeah. Or maybe those are like the popsicle sticks. I forget what that is.
Someone came out with one recently that was like a even upgrader, healthier one. I forget what the brand is.
There's another one called
I haven't
Nix,
had 'em yet.
I
Have you
believe.
had 'em?
No. So I
You
think
make your own kind of.
I think this is good to say where everything that you're gonna bring up, I'll bring up the levels. I can say if I'll have it or not, just for people, but I want people to understand like I'm very extreme.
Yeah.
Very, very extreme. So just because I say I don't have it doesn't mean like
It could
I
still
think
be an
it's,
upgrade.
I think it's still an upgrade for a
Yeah.
lot of people. So no, I wouldn't have those. I don't love some of the artificial stuff in there. But great alternative. It's gonna be low or no sugar. And then my alternative for ice cream is yogurt. Dude, what I do is make a yogurt bowl. I'll throw
You've
some
made ice cream though.
with the Ninja Creamy.
Yeah.
So there's two ways I'll do it. I'll do a yogurt bowl, throw like a protein powder in there. People are gonna give me some eyes, but I sometimes do half yogurt, half cottage cheese. The texture's insane, bro. You throw it in the freezer for 10 minutes. Yogurt bowl. I mean, it's frozen yogurt, but it's so good. So I'll do yogurt for that, but Ninja Creamy. What I was doing was before was a Fairlife thing. Not great.
Right, we
better.
talked about them.
I'll do Fairlife freeze it, and then it
It's
makes
so
it into
good.
creamy. But you can just do like an almond milk and yogurt.
Right.
You can do anything. But the Ninja Creamy is a cheat code.
Yeah, it's great. All right, Joe uses the Ninja Creamy, and he was using the Fairlife Ice Cream.
Shout out Joey.
He was pounding them.
So good.
What was my next one? I had pizza.
Pizza's going. Okay, so one, I make. We've had it
Love
before.
it.
I make pizza at home all the time. So yes, I make a sourdough pizza, which is next level.
Is that a thing? Like, have you come across any pizza spots that make it? A sourdough pizza?
Yes, in New York there's one.
Is there?
And I really want to try it.
We should go.
I'm so down. So
In New York City.
yeah. So but there's a couple things that this is good a point or
We
two,
should
but
do one here. We should do one.
dude, it's so good. I'll make my own sourdough pizza, but I've also made a non-sourdough pizza just with regular flour. But dude, the key difference is, okay, look at the difference between the flours. When I make pizza dough, it's flour, salt, water, and then if I'm making sourdough, it's a sourdough starter. If I'm making regular one, it's yeast. That's it. Nothing else. Dude, yes, there's calories and carbs, of course. That's just portion control. But just focusing on those little ingredients, so important. Typically, I try to avoid restaurants, but I found some high-quality pizza spots or Italian restaurants. Perfect example is when I was in Italy. When I was in Italy, dude, I ate everything.
Yeah,
and
everyone
anything
says that.
because they can't and don't use all these processed
illegal,
ingredients. Right? They just use the right one. So I was eating pasta, I was eating pizza, no gut issues. And you know me, I know the second I have something that I shouldn't have. They use olive oil, they use all these good stuff. So make it at home. If you're getting it, try to go to a high quality restaurant. Rarely, I don't know any frozen pizza brands that are good. Not saying there aren't any, I just don't know of any. But I do know that some frozen pizzas are using like cauliflower crust or like some of these crust alternatives. That's a definitely a good option too.
I'm on it already, but
Also, real quick, sorry, sauce as well is important to mention. Using a homemade sauce. Again, a lot of the jarred sauces are going to use some of those processed oils. A lot of sodium they'll put in it as well. Dude, sauce is so easy to make. So easy to make. But there's also, I'll give a shout out. I would never touch this because I'm Italian. And not from an ingredient standpoint, just because culturally, I think my nana would come down from the sky and absolutely murder me. But Rayo's, is that the name, right?
RAOS?
Yes.
Apostrophe S?
Rayo's is, ingredients-wise, great brand.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I'm already on this, but I think a lot of like it was the easiest switch to make ever, and I think more people should. And I even like went into my mom's cabinet and I was like, why are you still buying this peanut butter?
Peanut butter's
she's like, what do you mean? I'm like,
do you remember what it was?
yeah, it was Jif or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even Jif. Is
So-
Jiffy the main one?
No, Jiffy or Skippy.
It was Jiffy.
Jiffy or Skippy. Skippy's the goat, but not ingredients wise. So with peanut butters, with nut butters in general, you know how some of them say stir, like no stir.
Jif.
Yeah.
Jif.
You know how some will say no stir on it.
Yeah.
So that's a key indicator that they're going to use an unhealthy oil. It's called palm oil.
But it's really easy what we just talked about. How about just flip it around and read the back? If it doesn't say peanuts and that's it, then
That's it.
we can move
Peanuts
on.
and salt.
That's it.
Done. Next question.
Mine, do you throw it in the fridge? You don't, because I see it here. Mine said after you stir, put it in the fridge so that it doesn't separate. And I kind of like it cold.
So this is funny because I was talking to Nick, and the one day I opened the fridge and the peanut butter was in the fridge. I was like, Nick, did you put in the fridge the peanut butter in the fridge? He was like, no, you did. I was like, I did.
Oh, it might have been me.
It was you then.
It might have
He was
been
coming
me.
at me for putting the peanut butter in the fridge. I said I didn't put it in the fridge.
It was probably me.
It was you.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
It was good,
kind of
right?
good.
Yeah.
It was kind of good.
I know. I never thought of it at first too, and then I was reading the label, and it's like the one that I bought mentioned it, so now I do
Santa
it.
Cruz. I'll give a shout out to a brand, Santa Cruz.
Oh yeah.
So good. Wait, real quick. Smoother, crunchy.
I've been getting crunchy.
Crunchy, good. Thank you for that.
Well, I mean, I just haven't had the smooth in a while, so I'm not discriminating.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that out of you.
You got any quick alternatives like that? As I'm trying to think of, I know there's other stuff I cut out that I would love to know, but that's like an easy transition one that you're buying peanut butter anyway. It's probably 1 or 2 jars over. Just pick that one on the right.
Yeah. What other, like, think back to, like, your staples as a kid.
Thinking
what
as
did you
childhood,
love to
I
have?
know.
I'll bring up one since we were just on it real quick too, about pastas. One of the things that you should look at when you're looking at pastas and like box pastas is it's going to be a key indicator. It'll say enriched with vitamins. You actually want to avoid those.
Gotcha.
Ones. All you want in a pasta is literally just it's probably
Bro,
gonna be
they
like
got so good with the wording.
it's probably gonna be similar. They're so good. They're
Enriched
marketing
with
geniuses,
vitamins.
dude.
Sounds so
Yeah.
good.
You want literally just it's probably gonna be semolina flour, but there's a couple other ones they can use. You just want flour, and then I think it's gonna be maybe salt. That's it.
I like breads, as in
Breads.
pumpkin, banana, dessert breads, pies.
Did you bring that up because I made the banana bread?
I did. It made
Dude,
me. It made me think of it. But I was a huge banana bread kid, and I wasn't. I liked the 4th of July. I liked a apple pie with a cold scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. Anything for them?
So, by the way, I hope there's some banana bread left.
Are there? I don't have high hopes, but there was a lot.
There's a lot, but there's two
There's
problems
a lot of
with
people
this.
there.
I'm happy we're talking about this because, dude, I changed my dad's life with this.
Oh, is he a big fan?
So
That could be
not
gone.
about the banana bread, about the quality of ingredients, because he was just like me about tracking. Dude, he loves tracking his food, but
I didn't know that.
he loves it, dude. But part of the thing that he didn't like was that like he was just like me, where he had no control on the days he wasn't tracking. So I started working with him about looking at the ingredient label. I was like, Dad, don't care about the calories.
Does he still track, or does he just go clean now?
He'll track during the week, but then on the weekends he won't track, but he will only eat foods that have good ingredients.
Nice.
And he said it to me. He was like, it completely changed the game because he doesn't feel like guilty
Nice.
anymore. So I said that because when I make sourdough or banana bread or something that he
He's
knows
feasting.
that he can eat, he will devour it.
Ugh.
Nick will devour. So I don't
Yeah, I
know.
know.
It's gonna be close.
That dude's a.
It's gonna be close. But so I made a banana bread. There was a bunch of ingredients, but it was like bananas, eggs. I used bread flour, almond flour, like the baking powder, all that kind of stuff. Instead of a scoop of ice cream, I'll put yogurt on top.
Nice.
Yogurt and peanut butter.
Nice.
Maybe some honey. Down. So good. I got a good alternative.
Oh, nice.
Cereal.
Oh, nice.
Cereal. So, dude, I love
I
it.
used to eat cereal.
I love cereal. Now, let me say this. No, we'll go back to the levels. You can get a cereal that is pretty damn good and tasty. Would I have it? Probably not, but it's a great change. I found the 2 cereals that I love. Number 1 is Ezekiel. They make the bread too. They usually frozen bread. So good, and it's actual cereal. And then for a milk alternative, you can use almond milk. You can just be careful with the ingredients again with the almond milk. Should just be almonds and salt. You can use regular milk if it's raw or clean organic milk. But I love using. I do this 2 ways. I'll use regular milk or almond milk. but there's these, basically they're like rice cakes in cereal form. So it's like, remember Rice Krispies?
Yeah.
It's like
Rice Krispie treats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Rice Krispie cereal. It was Rice Krispie treats, but in cereal. Same company too.
Oh yes, like no.
It had the little characters on.
Yeah. And they had like a chocolate one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
So there's basically like a cereal like that. It's like puffed rice. So good, dude. But little cheat code, bro. I used to do almond milk. Make a shake with protein powder, pour it over it, and then you get a protein cereal.
Nice.
Dude, so good.
Wait, I had another one
so
for you.
Good.
What about
This stuff gets me excited.
What about like hoagies or lunch meat sandwiches? It's tough with the bread because the bread is
Yeah, but
the
we touched on the bread, so I'll talk about the insides. The bread again, levels to it. You can get homemade. It is tough.
I used to rip hoagies.
It's tough, but
Cheesesteaks.
yes, a big change you can make is the lunch meat. Processed meats are really bad, dude.
Yeah.
Really bad. But have you ever seen? I think it's called Applegate, or it's one of the.
No, I totally just cut these things out.
It's one of the packaged meats that's actually really good. Because it's just like I get the oven roasted turkey or oven roasted chicken. It's just chicken and turkey.
Yeah, they're just
But
easy.
It's deli
on the go.
So I'll do that as my meal prep lunch. Because, you don't have to cook it. I'll throw it in a salad.
Right.
It's an easy protein source. I think it's called Applegate. I'm pretty sure. But look at the deli section, the packaged one, and just honestly find the most expensive one.
Dude, I feel like we need to make a nice cheesesteak on a sourdough.
Dude,
one of these
that would be
days.
so good.
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 You've never done it, right? I feel like
we made cheesesteaks at home, but I
it.
didn't do a sourdough with it now.
I think we need to try
But
one.
cheesesteaks are so easy to make too.
And we can make it like someone healthy.
100% healthy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's literally
Cheese.
something
steak,
that people
and
eat,
sourdough.
healthy people eat all the time.
Yeah.
Beef, cheese, and a carb. So bread,
Yeah.
healthy bread. 100%.
We need to go.
We could
attack
totally.
that.
We could totally do that. All right, keep going. I love
Fries?
this. Fries, dude. Another perfect example.
Got me thinking of the cheesesteak. I thought of the fries.
So this is gonna go back to the chips and the tortillas. So the chips, right? It's just potatoes. The ones that we had were potatoes. I hope that name comes to me because I want to give them a shout out. But potatoes, avocado oil, and
the chips?
salt for those chips. Dude, with fries, potatoes. Cut them however you want. If you want to do chips, if you want to do like thin slices.
Right.
If you're gonna fry them, like deep fry them, you can't really use olive oil because it doesn't have a high smoke point. But avocado oil, coconut oil, just fry them in a better oil. Game changer. Still gonna get the calories, but who cares? No harm,
Right.
no foul. Unless you're really worried about weight and physique. Best alternative, air fry them.
Air fry 'em.
Dude, air fry.
Don't get crispy.
They can get so crispy. I'll do air fried sweet potatoes all the time too. Ugh, so good. Very easy too. Air fryer is one of the best investments I've ever made. Especially for like efficiency too.
So fast.
So quick. I can see you thinking about what you're eating as a kid.
I am. I'm thinking about, I'm trying to think about like my main hitters. I told you we talked about this before when we were talking about the sourdough, the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through. Everything bagel, cream cheese, or everything bagel toasted with butter was my go-to. But we already talked about sourdough bagels. I'm trying to think of other main hitters that I've had. You have anything that comes to mind for easy ones? My wheels are turning. My wheels are turning.
My brain's going straight to candy, so I'll think about like a chocolate
how
bar.
about that? But the first thing that popped in my head was almond M&Ms. Love them.
Interesting.
What candy alternatives? They're tough because
It's tough.
Like, how about that? They're their own made. Like you see a lot of things that are good whole foods, like lunch meats or like that they just turn bad because they want to cut corners and make the margins and make it easier, mass produce. But then candy's kind of like the one thing that I know. Is it dark chocolate is actually good for you? But candy seems like to be the only one of the rare things where it's just a contraption that's kind of made to
On its
already
own,
be bad.
yeah, 100%,
You know what I mean?
100%. So, and the main reason too is because, so yes, dark chocolate is good. When we say dark chocolate, I'm talking about like the cocoa bean, cocoa
Right,
powder, chocolate that people aren't gonna like.
Right.
Just psychos like me love it. But going back to the levels, going from like a milk chocolate, which is probably like 50 or 60% dark chocolate, or 50 to 60% cocoa, to a 70 plus. When you get into the 90 plus range, 90% plus range, it's 90% cocoa. That's when it starts tasting more like dirt and like the actual like dark,
Yeah.
rich flavor. But going from milk chocolate to a 70% plus, looking at the ingredients, right? Just be careful with the added sugar and stuff like that. Great difference. So I think that the levels of ingredients is
Or
very
just
important
know
when
where
it
you're
comes to
at
candies.
and take a step up.
When it comes to candies, I think that's very important. Because like, yeah, you can still get a chocolate bar. It's not gonna be great, but if that's like your little sweet tooth treat, you can definitely get a much better one than like the Hershey one or whatever.
Dude, you know what eyes me up? Thinking about candy, getting a haircut and watching the lollipops that I used to rip as a kid on your way out and just being like, I could grab one right now. This would be so good.
So
They are
good.
so good too.
How many licks does it take
I
to get to the center? of a
I
Tootsie Pop?
I don't know how many licks, but I'll grab 5 of those lollipops and just have myself an afternoon.
What was your favorite Tootsie Pop flavor? Do you remember?
The orange one.
Ew.
You think?
Gross.
You think?
Gross. Teach their own. I can't. Why am I judging?
I'm trying to think. Brown, orange,
Grape.
and I'm gross. Bro, nobody likes grape. You probably like the grape Jolly Rancher.
No, dude, I hated Jolly Ranchers.
In general?
Hate every single Jolly Rancher. I was a chocolate that guy though.
The blue Jolly Ranchers and then the light green ones hit every once in a while.
Are the light green ones the apple ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not a Jolly Rancher guy.
What about the lollipops that you got at the barbershop? Like with
mini
flavors?
ones.
Yeah.
The con candy, hands down. Oh my gosh, dude. Going back to ice cream when I was
You ever had the bubble gum? Bubble gum kind of
the
smack.
big one.
No. They had a small bubble gum flavor, pink. Yo,
It was
pink.
pink one.
I thought you said the big one.
No, yeah, pink one. Yeah,
Good.
so good.
But you are right. The cotton candy
Bro,
was special.
while we're on it, my favorite ice cream flavor.
I see old memories coming back.
My favorite ice cream flavor that I would get all the time, cotton candy.
Really?
It was mint chocolate chip or cotton candy.
Mint
Never
chocolate
combine
chip,
them.
green kind.
Never combine them.
How can you combine
But-
them? Never can. Just
but
if you're wondering.
It was only
not
those
combined.
two. Only those two.
Ugh. You ever have No, you said only those two. But have you ever had the Coors Bros orange with the vanilla swirl?
No.
Smacks.
But you know who might invest in Coors Bros?
Who?
My dad.
Nuh-uh.
Bro loves hasn't had it in a while. Dude,
the orange vanilla mix.
quick funny
Smacks.
story. When we I'm pretty sure it was the last time we were there. Do you know how many Coors Bros are on the Ocean City Boardwalk?
Yeah, there's like 8.
There's like
Maybe
there's like a lot.
8's a lot. There might be 6.
There's like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Dude, we hit them every year.
One night, my dad hit every
On the way.
single one. He would get a small little cone.
Until the
Stopped
next
every
one.
single one
Oh
to
my
try every
God.
flavor. It was legendary.
They're so good.
So good, dude. Yeah, 100%.
Get the rainbow jimmies. You didn't like that?
Chocolate guy.
Chocolate jimmies?
I mean, I don't like that you called it Jimmy's. I would just want to mention that either, though. They're sprinkles.
Either way, my mom likes
What the
chocolate.
hell is a Jimmy?
My mom likes chocolate.
That's my cousin, and he's the man. But he's not a... It's a sprinkle.
I think you're gonna lose this one. In the comments.
Is that
I
like
think
a
it's
is that like a regional thing, like a
I think
location
it is.
thing?
I think it is regional. But I think because of where most of our viewers are, I think you're going to lose this argument.
Sprinkles.
Fine. You just became the most hated on the pod.
Or the favorite.
That's true.
You got any others?
I got nothing off the top of my head.
I think it all comes down to the same idea, looking at the label. And
it's an easy thing. Apologize for cutting you off. Just taking into, we talked about it before, consideration, more thought behind your food. Like, everyone knows that there's healthier alternatives out there, but I think people are just like ripping and just eating as the day goes by. Just take 5 minutes before and think out your food a little bit more. You'll find better alternatives.
And I think the biggest thing to close it out, be willing to spend the extra money. And if you have a problem with this, one of the best things that I did was, dude, I took what was it called? It was like I did like a personal expense report. I was like, all right, where am I spending money? Where can I take $100 a week from and put it into this? Dude, $100 a week? When I go to Sam's Club or Costco, my weekly grocery bill for me and Nick is usually like around 100 to 150 a week. And dude, like, that's not just for the week. Like, it primarily get us through the week, but we have stuff that'll be left over. Dude, you can find $100 from your expenses. And also, it's a good practice to have because you realize how much money you're spending on shit that... Here's an easy way to do it. Look at your subscription services. Yeah. That's it. Also, I don't want to call people out, but I'm going to.
Sounds like you are going to.
But I'm going to. If you're ordering from DoorDash, Instacart, any of those, I don't want to hear that these things are too expensive. Because those surcharges, the amount you're spending extra... Oh, man.
Hand up.
The toughest part is the money investment and then the time investment.
Yep.
I love that one, actually. And I'll give a shout out to Lauren for...
the inspiration?
The inspiration for the alternatives.
Love it.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. Episode 27.
Yes, it is. Let's have a week.
Let's have a week.
Go get it.
Peace.